Imagine walking up to like a colossal ancient monument, right? You expect to see this grand immortal legacy carved right into the stone.
Right, exactly.
But instead of a pharaoh's name, you just find these violent, jagged chisel marks, a deliberate, furious void where a human being used to be.
Yeah, and in a culture that, literally built its entire civilization around permanence and securing an afterlife, I mean, deleting someone's name was the ultimate destruction. It meant completely obliterating their soul.
Oh, wow. Well, welcome to today's deep dive. We are sifting through a big stack of your sources today. So archaeological field reports, translated steels, and some academic papers on 18th dynasty Egypt.
Yeah, there is definitely a lot to cover.
Oh, tons. But our mission here is to extract the ultimate historical aha moment about Akhenaten, the heretic pharaoh who tried to rewrite a 2,000-year-old culture basically overnight.
And to really grasp the scale of that disruption, well, we have to look at the entrenched power structure he inherited. This is around 1353 BCE.
Okay, wait, let's unpack this. So Amenhotep V takes over an incredibly wealthy empire, but he's immediately competing with the priesthood of the god Amun.
Right, they were massively powerful.
Exactly. These priests control vast estates, grain reserves, and just a staggering amount of the national wealth. So the new pharaoh changes his name to Akhenaten, declares the traditional pantheon illegal, and elevates a single abstract sun disk, the Aten, as the sole god.
Which is wild.
It is.
Yeah.
But how does one guy actually enforce that? I mean, you can't just decree that a 2,000-year-old religion is over and expect a powerful priesthood to quietly pack up their temples.
No, you definitely can't. So he hits them at the source of their power, which is their wealth. Akhenaten actually diverts the massive stream of tax revenue and agricultural yield away from the Amun estates.
Wow.
Yeah, he redirects it directly into his own new administration. He physically shutters the old temples and even dispatches crews to chisel the name of Amun off monuments nationwide.
So it functions as this massive, hostile wealth transfer disguised as a theological revelation, which makes me wonder, was he genuinely driven by religious vision, or was this just a calculated, ruthless strike to consolidate total power?
Well, the sources suggest it was a radical mix of both, actually. What's fascinating here is that this is the world's first documented attempt at state-imposed monotheism, or at least a strict monolatry.
Right.
But it is remarkably cold. I mean, Atonism had no moral commandments. It wasn't about ethical behavior or community at all. It was purely focused on the physical phenomenon of sunlight.
And conveniently, the pharaoh positioned himself as the sole conduit to that light. You didn't pray to the A10, you prayed to Akhenaten.
Exactly. And if you're systematically bankrupting the old religious establishment, staying in their historic capital of Thebes seems like a massive security risk.
Oh yeah, you have to get out of town.
Right. That physical vulnerability is exactly why he abandons Thebes entirely. He relocates the royal court to a barren, isolated stretch of desert and builds a brand new capital from scratch.
Akhenaten. Or what we call Amarna today.
Yes, exactly.
Building a new city is one thing, but the artistic shift detailed in these field reports is what really throws me.
Wow.
Pharaonic art is famously rigid, perfectly proportioned, broad-shouldered, idealized figures.
Very strictly controlled.
Yeah. And suddenly, Akhenaten mandates statues with elongated skulls, heavy bellies, wide hips, and these spindly limbs. Plus, we see this unprecedented casual intimacy, like the royal family kissing their daughters.
It's a huge departure.
It really is. My first instinct when looking at these reliefs is that he must have had a severe genetic disorder, like Marfan syndrome or something. I mean, why else force your artist to create such a bizarre, unflattering portrayal?
Well, the medical theories have circulated for decades, for sure, but the religious texts from Amarna point in a completely different direction.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's theological symbolism. See, the Aten was viewed as the ultimate creator, encompassing all elements of the universe, both male and female.
Okay, I think I see where this is going.
Right, so by mandating this specific artistic style, Akhenaten was depicting himself as an androgynous, living incarnation of that creator god.
Oh, wow. But still, anchoring an entire national identity onto one man's personal theology and artistic rebrand is a pretty fragile strategy.
Oh, absolutely.
The moment he dies after a 17-year reign, the entire experiment just shatters. His son, Tutankhamun, takes the throne and immediately restores the traditional gods.
And the old priesthood reclaims its wealth and power right away. And they don't just move on. They systematically dismantle Amarna.
Right.
They strike Akhenaten from the official king lists, enacting a literal damnatio memoria.
So what does this all mean? For you listening, it's a striking historical lesson that top-down revolutions almost always fail if they don't capture the actual underlying belief of the public.
Yes, exactly.
Akhenaten forced a new reality, but without the pharaoh there to enforce it, the people snapped right back to their traditions.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, though, his enemies' vengeance actually backfired beautifully. By tearing down Akhenaten's temples, they took those distinctively carved stone blocks and used them as hidden foundation fill for their own monuments.
Which is incredibly ironic.
It is. By trying to bury his legacy, they accidentally created a perfect time capsule, preserving his heretical art for modern archaeologists to uncover.
Which leaves us with a massive historical what-if to mull over. If Akhenaten's successors hadn't been so successful at suppressing his monotheistic experiment, if the worship of the Aten had survived the desert and spread,
right,
would the entire trajectory of the world's major modern religions look completely different today?